I started my podcast for multiple reasons. And one of them is because of the bullshit that people do when they release clips and they do these podcasts that they have us on, ask us to be on, and then they make us look bad.
Do you know who the comedian Lynn is? He's a part of Kevin Hart's the Plastic Cup Boys.
I don't think I know really none of their names, but I'm familiar with their faces.
And he was actually recently on the Kevin Hart roast, but he has a podcast and he had Tony Rock on there recently. And he came out and posted a video on I believe it was Instagram. And he was just kind of frustrated with people, how they captured like a small segment of his interview with Tony Rock.
Okay. Yeah. Because one of the dudes got a podcast with former basketball player. I can't think of his name right now.
Podcast out is called DMC. That's Deep Meaningful Conversation with Naeem Lynn. And I started my podcast for multiple reasons. And one of them is because of the bullshit that people do when they release clips and they do these podcasts that they have us on, ask us to be on, and then they make us look bad. Look at this bullshit clickbait right here.
Sometimes I really feel like my brother would rather I wasn't in this business. So here's an analogy. We grew up together, right? We grew up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. He was picked on. He was teased. He was bullied. Nobody fucked with me. So then he starts doing this thing. Like he gets invited to this party and everybody's like, yo, Chris, I'm so happy you're here. And girls are coming over like, hey, you want a drink? And he's like, oh shit, they treating me the way I've always wanted to be treated at this party. And he's sitting there, he sits down and he takes a sigh of relief. Like, finally I'm at a party where they fucking acknowledge the kid, you know? And then there's a commotion in the other room. And people are getting up and going, and he's like, what the fuck is going on in that room?
Yeah.
And he walks in that room and I'm standing in the middle of the room like, yeah, so then I told the bitch, you know what the fuck I'm, and everybody's like, oh shit. And he sits there and goes, God damn.
So as you can see, that video was edited. There's no context. And these motherfuckers have no shame. Absolutely no shame. I try to give a safe space to my friends and entertainers that I know or that I admire to come on and be vulnerable. And I'm only 3 episodes in. I give them this platform to be vulnerable and talk about their life and bridge that gap between entertainer and fan. And then I even go as far as to sending them the clips first before I post them so that they can approve them to make sure they don't look bad. I did an interview with Tony Rock. We talked for an hour and a half, and 95% of that conversation had nothing to do with his brother or the brother that they're talking about in this video. We talked about so many different things. He talked about his admiration and his adoration for not only Chris, but all of his brothers. And he talked about how he's wanted to work with him for his whole career. And in that interview, we spoke about how to even go about getting that to happen. And this piece of shit person right here, and they know they was fucked up for it because they didn't even tag me in the video. They didn't tag me or the pod. I don't even know who this person is, but you watch my interview and then you make this clip and you got him out here look like he hating on his brother. You about to fuck my shit up already. And I don't even like speaking that into existence, but I'm providing a safe space for entertainers to be vulnerable and have deep conversations. And then you just take some shit and make a clickbait video.
You can hear his frustration.
So while y'all sharing that bullshit, make sure y'all share this, because what'll happen is his brother will only see that video and his brother's friends will only see that video. And then they'll say, well, this is why we don't work with him. That shit ain't right, man. Y'all niggas ain't got no shame. No shame at all. Share this shit.
Yeah, did you get to hear most of it?
Yeah. I ain't cut out to the end of it.
Okay. Yeah, you could hear the frustration in his voice, man. So what are your thoughts on it?
My first thought is, damn, so the stuff that was in Everybody Hates Chris was true, because that was a scene from Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, I do think that was really in large part based off of him and Tony's, because they got actually multiple brothers, I believe. I believe he's referencing Tony a lot throughout the show.
Okay,
But yeah,
okay.
so that was your first thought.
That was my first thought. It would caught my attention the most. But then my second thought is, this happens all the time. Like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah, yeah,
normal. It sucks and it shouldn't happen, but this is normal.
yeah, yeah,
Like, y'all both are known people. Somebody needed, since they didn't tag you in it, they didn't really want it to probably get this much attention. They just wanted a clip to bring some attention to their page. Like, this is normal. It
yeah, yeah.
sucks. Like, nothing you can
It
do about
sucks.
it, man.
It sucks. And what I'll say is this has been happening since the beginning of time, right? And I'll even use the Bible as an example because there's so
Mm-hmm.
many times where people can take a verse from the Bible, ignoring the whole story
Yep.
of that book of the Bible
Mm-hmm.
and taking that and weaponizing it sometimes and
Mm-hmm.
using that to prove their point, but it's connected to a much larger story,
Yep.
right? It's been happening since the beginning of time. Us, as small of a scale as we are as a platform, we're trying to, we're growing 308 subscribers. Shout out to all of you. But it's happened to us. We
Yep.
posted videos and talking about something really coming from the heart, and people will only pull out the negative in terms of what they feel is negative rather than looking at the whole video. People have been
Yep.
doing that since the beginning of time, unfortunately, man.
It's
And
a
I'll be
part of
honest,
the business.
part of the game, right? It's a part of the game. And I'll be honest, getting to Tony Rock when I saw that clip. But see, this is me because I love looking into people's stories now because I aspire to have success like that in my respective field, right? So that's something I've learned about Tony Rock and Chris Rock and their relationship. But make no mistake about it, Tony Rock does have high admiration for his brother. And he dream of going on a tour with him one day. He talks about it, but make no mistake about it, when the Oscars incident happened, he was ready to ride with him.
For
He was
real.
instantly.
Yeah.
And he said it. He said, you ride with your family until you die. Them are your day ones, right?
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, his older brother, though, Chris told him, stand down. He was like, all right, big bro called the shots. That's how it goes in my family. You know what I mean? Once again, I'm not just blindly listening to a clip of Tony speaking. I've listened to multiple interviews, looked at a lot of podcasts with them on it and everything. And yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And I took it as him explaining Chris Rock a little more and why they don't do work as much as people would think because they're brothers. And I'll say this, not everybody is like Keenan Ivory Wayans. Not everybody want to do work with their family. Sometimes you do want to have something of your own. And the ironic thing is, to an extent, Damon Wayans is like that. And Marlon recently was talking about that when the new Scary Movie came out. He was saying Damon was like, I don't like splitting my money. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't like you. And if you notice, Damon has always kind of had a solo career. It's no love lost. They still love each other, but that's just how he is. If you like what you just heard, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, SNE 2.0. SNE stands for Spare No Effort. All we're trying to do is help people become the best version of themselves. So please, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and remember, spare no effort.